Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, we are going to talk about what occurred on the Oscars last night with Will Smith and Chris Rock. I would have never thought I would want to talk about something like this, but because everybody has a lot to say about it, I just wanted to, come in and give you my opinion. And maybe that will trigger some thoughts after listening to me. So if you're interested in getting my thoughts and opinion about this whole situation with Chris Rock and Will Smith, by all means, stay tuned. But before you get all cozy, there is a subscribe button that's located over here. Alongside of it is a notification bell. You need to go ahead and click both. The only way you're going to keep up with when I post is if you click both. They're right here. Go ahead. Click it. Welcome to my channel. There is a subscribe button that's located right here. Alongside of it is a notification bell. Stay tuned. So there I was on the couch trying to edit part 3 of, the Boomland situation. And I get a text from my mother-in-law. In that text, she asked what was going on between Will Smith and Chris Rock, because it appeared that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock in the face on the Oscars. So I'm just like, okay, I'm not watching it. Like, I never, ever watched the Oscars. So when she said that, I knew to go straight to Twitter. The initial clip that I saw of it, I just saw Will Smith just walking up to the stage and, Chris Rock had that nervous giggle. Then I see Will Smith. First it looked like a punch. And I was like, Dad, what was that about? And then I saw him walk back to his seat and the sound was off. So I could see his mouth moving, but I can't read lips, so I didn't know what he was talking about. So then I continued to scroll through Twitter and I finally saw a clip. I think it was coming from out of Australia and the sound was on. I heard the joke, right? And again, the only reason why I'm talking about this is because it has been such a hot topic on social media as far as who was right, who was wrong, whatever the case is. So the next clip that I saw Chris Rock tell the joke about the whole G.I. Jane. First I had to pause because I was like, was she in the first one? No, she wasn't. That was Demi Moore, right? Or Demi Moore. I was like, oh, okay, that was a bald joke. When this woman decided to cut her hair off, I don't know if people actually knew that she is suffering from alopecia. People are stating online like that wasn't an excuse or whatever the case is. Alopecia is not something you can die from, blah, 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 blah. But people don't seem to understand that, especially with the field that she's in, she's a public figure. She's an actress. Your hair is your crown. But nonetheless, getting back to the joke. So Chris Rock, told his joke or whatever about, being in G.I. Jane 2. And the camera went to Jada Pinkett Smith and with Will Smith. We see him laugh. She started off with like a little giggle and then she kind of rolled her eyes and looked like, okay, this wasn't it. Everybody has been hung up on why Will Smith was laughing. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have ever been in a fight or ever felt like you were about to get into a situation, how your body responds to it. You may be bold enough to initiate some form of aggression or whatever the case is, but your body is going through some things, right? We can't speak for him on why he was laughing. It could have been because he actually thought the joke was funny. It could have been because he had a little nervous giggle because he knew that he was about to get up and pop him. Because this isn't the first time that Chris Rock had made a statement about Jada. He mentioned her in the 2016 Oscars, and it was in reference to when that whole boycott was going on, that Black people wasn't going to show up. Chris Rock was the host that year. He had made a statement to I don't know why you're boycotting. It's not like you were invited. Something to that nature. From my understanding, I did not do the research, but from what I gather, when Chris Rock had made that statement, he had, Will Smith had, told him, hey, be easy with the jokes when it comes down to my family, yada, yada, yada. He tried it. He tried it this year. I'm going to only assume, based on the video, that once he saw his wife, he felt some type of way because she looked hurt. She looked bothered. The question is, did Will Smith have the right to get up on that stage and approach Chris Rock? Before I get into that, I just want to let you know, I have a dad who goes above and beyond for my mother. They'll be married 50 years this year in July. And you say something out the way, you look at her wrong. My dad is on you like white on rice. He's like that with me and my brother. My brother's 46, I'm 42. And so I have inherited that gene to where you mess with my family, beware of me. Because that joke didn't land well with Jada, I'm going to only assume that when he saw the look on his wife's face, that she was bothered by it, that he needed to stick up for her. And I'm all for that. Now, everybody keeps saying, well, Will Smith and Jada can't take a joke, yada, yada, yada. It's not about taking a joke. Hell, Will Smith tells jokes, okay? It's not even about joking around and whether or not you can take a joke. It's the fact that he zoned in on her bald head. Just because alopecia isn't something that you could die from doesn't mean that that woman isn't affected by that. And everybody just undermines what she could be thinking, what she goes through, yada, yada, yada. You could have joked on anything else, but Chris Rock made a decision to joke about her head. That was the first thing I guess he could have thought of, was to talk about her head. Now, from my understanding, he went on Twitter and made a statement. If I can find it, hold on. Okay, I couldn't find a Chris Rock statement. The only thing that I saw that I want to say that he had, he made a statement to TMZ is that he was unaware of Jada's alopecia, which is all well and good. I don't understand how he wouldn't know that. She is infamous for her red table talk, which she was very vocal about it there. She was online when she shaved her head, and I don't know how you were unaware. I feel like this. Did he overreact in a way? Maybe. But when it comes down to defending your family, if your family is hurt, or you see, and you could tell that Will Smith loves his wife. Everybody keeps bringing up the August Asina, whatever his name is, keeps bringing up that situation, the entanglements, and all this other stuff. All that information is freaking irrelevant. You could tell how much he loves his wife. And he's also has had an interview stating that he believes in marriage, regardless of what happens. I'm all in. So he's in for the ride. People don't seem to understand that when it comes down to marriage, people really take those vows seriously. It's not for play. It's not that I'm just going to get married and, but I wake up one day and don't want to be bothered with you, I'm going to go ahead and get a divorce. People really hold those values to be true. And so I think that all of that is irrelevant. Like, why are we even talking about it? I don't think it was the joke per se. He saw the hurt in his wife's eyes. I just feel like he snapped, something went off, and he just felt like he needed to do what he had to do to defend his wife. And I don't see what the issue is with that.
Why in the world did Will Smith slap Chris Rock? Listen to this clip closely right here.
I've always thought of myself as a coward. Most of my memories of my childhood involve me being afraid in some way. Afraid of other kids, afraid of being hurt or embarrassed, afraid of being seen as weak. But mostly, I was afraid of my father. When I was 9 years old, I watched my father punch my mother in the side of her head so hard that she collapsed. I saw her spit blood. That moment in that bedroom, probably more than any other moment in my life, has defined who I am today. Within everything that I've done since then, the awards and accolades, the spotlights and the attention, the characters and the laughs, there's been a subtle string of apologies to my mother for my inaction that day, for failing her in that moment, for failing to stand up to my father, for being a coward.
Black women get criticized all the time. Women in general get criticized all the time. You can't breathe without someone commenting about something. And then who comes to our defense? Usually other women. Some men will pick apart, what we look like, what we don't have going on, yada, yada, yada. It serves us right, for whatever suffering we're going through. And so a man decides to stand up for his wife and it is a problem. Maybe the setting was off. Maybe that wasn't, the place to do that. But it's like, when? You ever heard of, I don't know if it's a rule or a saying or whatever, that when your kids do something and it's punishment worthy, that you address it right then and there versus coming back after hours later to discuss something they did a while ago. Because the kid is not going to really know what the hell they're getting a punishment for when you allow time to go in between in order to address something. I think that Will Smith felt the need to address it right then and there. And he had his right. Now, again, maybe the setting was off, but it was a buildup. And then people keep bringing up The Rock. I just saw a statement when I was looking for that statement from Chris Rock that I guess him and Will Smith have a beef. People were pulling him into it. Oh, if The Rock had, came up to you, you wouldn't have done anything. Who said that he wouldn't? And why are we dragging everybody into this situation? Why not just look at it for what it is? Chris Rock told a joke, the Smiths got offended, and the husband reacted to it. That's all it is to it. Bringing up old affairs, they clearly have talked it through, forgiven each other for whatever qualms, because if you actually go back to the Red Table Talk and you actually see the conversations this couple has had when it comes down to their marriage, neither one of them are saints, and they're open about it. But everybody wants to sit here and bash Jada and just make her seem like, she is like freaking, what's the name? The Red Scarlet Lady. Like, you want to condemn her for everything she has done. How fair is that? Like, come on, man. Let that go. If that man is not really sweating over an affair, which he was, you can tell that even you look at the interview, that Red Table Talk they had, you can see the pain in that man's face. But they decided to work it out. Why are you still pressed? Why? So I go onto Twitter, and this one person, who happens to be a white male, stated 3 observations from the Oscars last night. Chris Rock can take a punch. 2, Will Smith can't take a joke unless it's about his open marriage. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, why are we even talking about that? We're talking about this woman having alopecia versus an affair that she had a few years back. Like, why are we even talking about it? The deflection be so serious online. It baffles me. 3, if Chris Rock looked like Dwayne Johnson, Will Smith never would have left his seat fat. And also too, when you get into fights, you size up a person. You're gonna be able to you size them up to see whether or not you'll be able to handle them on your own, whether or not you gotta pick up something. You size them up. Maybe that wouldn't be a good idea if Will Smith decided to approach The Rock. Maybe that wouldn't be a good idea. But what's the size difference between Will Smith and Chris Rock? They're both slim men. What's the point? Then this other Twitter user puts, Will Smith, I'm so sorry I wasn't your mother, and then posted a picture of a white lady. And the reason why I'm mentioning color specifically is because you have some white people who are just interjecting, saying the craziest things.
Can we talk about how Will Smith is a little bit like Vladimir Putin? I mean, the scale is different, but they both showcase traits of narcissism. Number 1, they both have a sense of entitlement. They require admiration and adoration from their audience or their people. And it seems like they're caring less about the needs of their audience and more about their own selfish needs. They become enraged. Like any narcissist, both Putin and Smith get very angry when they don't get special treatment, and they lash out so that they can feel superior. Smith felt that his family was too special to be part of a comedian's joke. Putin poisons people who speak out against him. And they have no empathy. Like many narcissists, Putin and Smith don't care about their victims. Putin doesn't care about the people he's killing in the Ukraine. Will Smith did not apologize to Chris Rock at the Oscars. He didn't even mention him. And they play victim. Like any narcissist, when they can't live up to that perfection, they plead for your empathy. Putin says he's a victim of cancel culture. Will Smith cried in front of the Oscar audience and asked us to feel sorry for him. The worst part is that everybody pretends that this is normal.
But just wait for this one that I'm about to read you. This person is Bridget Gabriel, and I guess she's a terrorist survivor. She puts, Will Smith was arrested in 1989 after being involved in an assault so serious one man was left nearly blind. He was charged with aggravated assault, recklessly endangering another person, simple assault, and criminal conspiracy. The charges were later dismissed. What does that have to do with what happened last night? Absolutely nothing. And this is where the audacity comes into play. I've been on TikTok, I've been on different lives and looking through comments, and it is a lot of white people having a problem with this husband defending his wife, standing up for his wife, however you want to word it, and how violent Black people are. And it's like, it's funny that some of you can type that in and say how violent a person is. Granted, now, would I have preferred to see two black men fighting on TV? No. Can I understand why Will did it? Yes. But I don't understand Twitter posts like this. So we want to talk about what he did in 1989? I was 10 years old then. I'm 42. That was 32 years ago. Why are we talking about this? Because it's going to be in your power. At least I'm talking to Bridget. You're gonna make it your mission to sit here and kick this man down, make him about this small. This man has accomplished so freaking much. He made a bad call, right? He made a bad call. And y'all want to sit here and demean him for being human? I don't understand that. It's upsetting. We can't share our opinions, our feelings, our hurts, our qualms. We can't share any of that without someone coming out of the freaking sticks want to give their 2 cents about how we should conduct ourselves. But let's have a serious conversation. You stated that Will Smith is violent. Violence is never the answer. I agree to a certain degree. Sometimes you do have to defend yourself, depending on what the situation is. You have to be in the position to defend yourself if necessary. That's both women and men, right? But when you bring up violence is never the answer, are you consistent with that statement? Or is it because these two black men, well, not even both of them, because Chris Rock just stood there and took it, which I don't understand how he even managed to do that. Is it because of who they are? We want to talk about how violent the act was? So if we have issues with violence, can we talk about that? Can we pull it apart? Not in just this specific situation, but can we really talk about how violence is terrible and people shouldn't be attacked and how there shouldn't be no justification for any acts of violence? Can we talk about that? Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's just that's too serious. We're just going to talk about these two men here and how despicable and how this and the third, how bad it was. Will Smith has the right to be a human. Out of his whole career, how many times have you heard him being in some type of scandal other than the marriage situation that happened a few years back? What else can you say about him? I need people to think before they start typing. If we're going to talk about violence, let's be clear. Let's talk about how it was rooted. Let's talk about the history of violence in America. Let's pull up stats and let's see how vocal you are when it comes down to violence. I'm going to say this, and I think I'm going to go ahead and close it out here. I know these two have the capability of reconciling. I'm pretty sure Chris Rock, eventually he gets over his embarrassment, because I know that had to be embarrassing for him. You're just doing your job, you're telling jokes or whatever the case is, and maybe he didn't know. Maybe he didn't know anything about the alopecia. You're standing up there doing your job, and someone literally walks up to you and not really thinking this man would hit me. You get hit, and I know a piece of his manhood went out the window. And I know that he has to be mentally going through something. So I'm not going to dismiss what's going on with Chris. I can't. My father raised me to be that type of person. I've witnessed my dad be that type of guy. I mean, he didn't fight everybody he came across. But when it came down to his family, my dad would jump in, stand up. He's 5'8". My father's... He's 5'8". Didn't care how big, tall, he didn't care. You say something sideways to someone, he's coming for you. And he has always raised me and my brother like that. And my brother, because we're so close in age, and it was just me and him, and he taught me to defend myself. Always taught to speak up for myself. Never sit on things that are bothering me. Be vocal. Don't be a doormat. Things of that nature. And I have to give Will Smith what credit is due. He defended his family. Regardless of how people look at her, people can sit here and nail her on the cross. This man loves his wife. He stood by his wife and did what he felt like he needed to do. And the way people are picking him apart, I just don't get it. I don't understand it. He's human. It's just everybody looks at these celebrities as if they are immortal. Nothing can happen to them. They can't have no feelings. They always have to have some sense of composure. Sometimes it takes one little thing, and it snaps. We just seen a TikTok individual who has lost her, their marbles. It doesn't take much. So hopefully these two men apologize to each other, one for offending the other one for putting his hands on him. From my understanding, Chris Rock is not, and I saw a post that he is not going to press charges to where everybody was like, oh, you know, Chris is going to sit here and get money off of this dude. Oh, he's about to get paid. These men both have money now. He may not have money like Will Smith, but he's from Brooklyn. I don't think he lives by that law, and especially at knowing Will Smith and having somewhat of a relationship with him. I know that he's not going to take it there. I mean, if he does, he's well within his rights, and everybody saw it. It's not like we didn't all see he got slapped up. So yeah, I definitely want to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. And this was just a spur of the moment kind of thing. There's no notes, there's no really preparation. So let me know how you feel about how I did this video today. But I've never jumped on camera one day, try to edit and post it all in the same day. So it might come off a little rushed because I just don't operate this way. But let me know down in the comment section how you feel overall about the video. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to connect with your girl on social media, you can find me on everything Talia's Eye Candy. That's on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And I will definitely catch you all in the next one. Bye.
Es que yo estoy buena, es que yo estoy dura. Yo sé que tú me quieres dar toda la noche entera.